Geordie Knitter podcast. My name is Laura and welcome to my knit night. Today is Sunday the 9th of June. Oh my gosh, how is it June? Yes, I'm sat in my kitchen. I had a week off, so if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're one of those lovely people that sent me a message to say, am I okay, where are you? I am fine and thank you very much. If you're a new viewer, hi! This is where I come to talk about my knitting. I usually knit like a crazy thing and have no one to talk about it in person. So I have no in-person knitting friends around where I live, and I live with my husband and my 2-year-old daughter, and neither of them knit and neither of them are that interested in talking about knitting. So coming here and talking about my knitting, it's what keeps me sane. Sort of. I'm not that sane anyway. So anyway, I took a week off just because last week I felt a little bit frazzled. If you are a returning viewer, you might know that for the last few weeks I have been complaining and being a moaning Minnie about how I feel and about my mental health, about physically being under the weather, and this week I'm going to try not to do that too much. But I haven't got that much knitting done, especially considering I have been away from the podcast for 2 whole weeks. But I'll crack on with that in a little while. First, a few little admin things. So I am probably jiggling you because I'm leaning on the table, sorry. We do have a knit-along going along at the moment. It is a colourwork knit-along and it runs until the end of the month. All the details, I know I've told you this a million times before. It's a 3-month knit-along, and yeah, there's a thread in my Ravelry group for people to post their finished objects, and the Facebook group. So I'm running this jointly with Katie of the Geordie Knits podcast, and our Ravelry group is Knit Along with Geordie Knits and the Lonely Knitter over on Facebook. I have not been very active in there at all in the last couple of weeks. I've not really been very active on social media at all in the last couple of weeks. Just had a lot going on and not really had the headspace to focus on anything, which might have something to do with how little knitting I have got done as well. So I think that's everything that I was going to talk about admin wise. I haven't watched all of my usual podcasts. I'm not going to do a rundown of the podcasts I have been watching because I'm feeling incredibly guilty for the ones I have missed out. I just haven't had a lot of podcast watching time, and I like to be able to focus as much as I can on my podcasts, but I normally have them going on in the background when I am doing housework or just doing other little bits. I haven't been doing much of anything and just haven't had the time to have them on in the background even. I have caught up with quite a few of my regular ones, but there's also a few that I haven't, and I don't want to be giving shout outs to the ones that I have when the ones that I haven't got around to watching are just as important to me, and I wouldn't want you to think I'd forgotten you. So I am still watching podcasts, and I will do some roundups in the coming weeks, hopefully. So I'm going to go straight on to finished objects. I have got one. For 2 weeks off, this is kind of embarrassing. So these are the Cutest Booties by Stephanie Pearl McPhee. That's the yarn harlot. I just need to, I think she says to I-cord some ties. I'm not going to I-cord ties. I put little ribbons through mine. I make these for every new baby that comes into my family or friends, and well, this pair is for a new baby that I will be having in December. So yes, second time in my life I am going through the process of the biggest whip that I've ever made. Yeah, I'm making a person, and so this is the first thing that I have made for that person. That might give you a clue as to why I have been feeling particularly naff the last few weeks. Actually probably about the last 7 weeks. So I just had my 12-week scan the other week and last week, and yeah, I'm not good at pregnancy. Like, the end result is the same as people who are good at pregnancy. I'm rubbish at pregnancy. My first time with my daughter, I was very ill from about 6 weeks until the week after I gave birth, and this time does not seem to be much different. So yeah, not living life on a day-to-day, getting through it. I have a 2-year-old at the same time, so I mean, it's brilliant because she thinks it's hilarious when I'm being sick, absolutely hilarious, sits there and laughs her way through, so swings and roundabouts. Entertaining my 2-year-old. So yeah, this is my one and only finished object, and as always, it counts as a finished object if the knitting is done. The knitting is done, yes, I need to get ribbons, it's done. And they smell horrible. I did the same for Ellie when I went for the 12-week scan. I knit a hat. It was a rainbow, oh, I can't remember what pattern was, but I knit a hat and I took it with me and just held onto it. Oh, throwing them on the floor. And this time I made these and took them with me, and then they went promptly into the backpack which me and Ellie share, and were rammed in next to my water bottle and a load of other things, and now my water bottle leaked and they smell a little bit musty, so they need a good wash anyway. So whips, you'd think if this is the only thing I finished in 2 weeks, then maybe I would have a ton of progress on whips. Nah, I have every now and then carried around, or you can tell I've carried around with me because I have a Bewilderwood map in the project bag. But this Snoopy bag by Jilly Makes came with me on a few days out in the last couple of weeks, and has my knit picks, Fleechy socks. That's where I put in the heel. I've done a few rounds, not even really enough to count, but hey, I had to show you guys something. The other thing that I've been working on, and actually I've only been working on this today, was, it's not even knitting. When I use my stitch, is the blanket that you might remember if you're a long time watcher. This is the Coastal Crochet blanket. If you follow Coastal Crochet, I think it's Eleonora Talley on Instagram, Coastal Crochet on Instagram. She had a blanket crochet along last year. It's a free pattern. She puts a post up every week, puts a post, or actually I think it was twice a week, puts a post up with a couple of rows on a scrappy blanket project. So I decided to make one for Ellie ages ago out of some of the acrylic. I have so much acrylic. I started buying acrylic with my pocket money when I was like 6 years old, and I still have some of that stash, and I bought it every single week until I was about 14, and suddenly realised that if I saved my money up I could get other yarn, other brands. But I have an enormous acrylic collection. Most of it is like Stylecraft, which I still love now. I haven't got an issue with at all, but I'm going to try and use it all up. So this is the Coastal Crochet blanket. I'm just going to try and get it all on screen. There we go, there's the bottom, and here we go, here we go. I've got my hook caught. Here we go. This is where I am. I'm now doing a row with bobbles, and crochet is not a skill of mine. I am a bad crocheter. I crochet like I'm knitting, so when I can't crochet and talk, well, I can crochet and talk, but I can't crochet and not look at the crochet, whereas I knit and it's just going on down here and people feel like I'm still part of the conversation and aren't frustrated that I might not be concentrating on them. With crochet I can't do that. And I also crochet like I'm knitting, so I hold the work in this hand, the hook in this hand, and then I have to put it in, let go of the hook, well, hold onto it like that, and then do the yarn overs like that. So I am not a natural crocheter, so this may take a while, but I think especially being pregnant, I wanted to finish, this is for my daughter. I felt like I can't start working on another blanket. I have started working on another blanket. I started knitting on an Opalite by Skein-Hannigan's, but I haven't got it downstairs, so I'll have to show you that next week. But I just felt bad that Ellie's wasn't finished, so I'm going to finish this one first. And there's going to be a lifetime of ends to weave in. We'll see if that ever gets happened, or if I just tie them all off into a really unattractive fringe. But this is also how you can tell that I'm really naff at crochet, because the side is really wobbly. Look at this, look. Ooh. So we go right out here and then all the way in here and then in again. So there is no even edge to my crochet. It is incredibly uneven. But hey, she's 2. You know, this is my daughter. Has the opinion that everything I make for her is the best thing that ever happened in the entire world. So yeah, I could do whatever and it could be the most hodgepodge blanket in the world and she would love it, so it's fine. So yeah, that's all my finished objects and all my whips. And oh my gosh, this bit is going to shock you, but I have no stash enhancement. 2 weeks, man, no stash enhancement. I've not been near a yarn shop, I've not bought anything online. I have been dedicated to this yarn diet. I'm just going to move you a little bit because the light is horrendous. It's probably not going to get any better. There we go. Is that any better at all? You are balanced on top of a drill and then a box of weed and feed for my garden. Little insight into life there. Yeah, so that really is everything. Stash enhancement, I just have been a bit restrained but also feeling so unwell, and when I was pregnant with Ellie I barely knit. I think I knit her a cardigan. No, I knit her 2 cardigans. I knit myself 2 pairs of socks, and I think I knit about, no, I crocheted about half of my niece's blanket the whole 9 months. And I don't know what it is. I think it was mainly because I was nauseous all the time and a bit dizzy, and then just in general my mental health really suffered when I was pregnant last time. I had no motivation or energy or anything to do anything at all. So I'm really hoping that this time round the podcast will help me. The Instagram community that I have made friends with so many people, I'm really hoping that this time I don't completely fall away from it, because as soon as I had given birth last time I was straight back on it, and I was like, oh, I wasted all these months when I didn't have a child and I wasn't knitting, and now I do have a child and I want to knit all the time. But so I'm hoping this time I won't completely lose my mojo, and obviously there are lots of festivals and events and things coming up this year that I want to go to and I want to still feel the mojo for. So yeah, I've got my fingers crossed that I don't lose all my crafty mojo until after December. So we're only 13 minutes in. You may have noticed that I am particularly bright and awake for a Sunday podcast, especially the last few weeks. I have been very like, hi, you know, and obviously knackered and well, the reason that I am very awake today is that I have a tooth right here that is killing me. There is a horrible pain going right up this side of my face into my forehead, and up until the point I pressed record I was sat here with my cheap hot water bottle pressed against my face like this, because even though I am really tired I can't sleep because I'm in so much pain and all I'm taking is paracetamol and it doesn't work. So yeah, anyone who's had a toothache before, I know you get me. This is hideous. So yeah, I've had a couple of weeks though where like the sickness is just setting in, and the fact and tiredness. I'm tired all the time, and I mean, having a toddler and doing this, like I have friends who are good at pregnancy and they get this gorgeous glow and they're like gliding through, and then there's me and I'm like this with this horrible resting bitch face and stomping around like an elephant last time I was on crutches. Like, all I'm going to say is, from now on, we may be going fortnightly. If a Monday rolls around and my podcast doesn't get uploaded, don't be thinking, oh, anything's happened. Don't worry. It may be 2 weeks, because I may not have knit a stitch in a whole week and not really feel like recording my knitting podcast because of that. So yeah, if we go a couple of weeks without a podcast, no one needs to send out a search party. I'm sure I will be fine. I am going to try and get more in now I've lost all my words. I am going to try and get back on Instagram a bit more. I was just getting a bit overwhelmed with dealing with stuff when I felt ill, so like replying to messages, replying to comments, even thinking of something to post. I was just like this, looking at it with no, yeah, I just don't want to feel sick anymore, really. So, you know how I said at the beginning of this podcast that I was going to try and not be a moaning Minnie? Well, I am being a moaning Minnie, but at least I'm telling you why now, right? This is going to be a short one because I am pretty much done. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown of what's gone on in the last couple of weeks. And it has been pretty much the same as every other week in my life. Mondays, Tuesdays, I work. The first week of this 2 weeks was half term. As an adult with a child that is not in school, half term is like this hideous week where I don't want to leave my house. Because I'm used, like with a 2-year-old, I'm used to going to the park, and we have a season ticket to like the zoo and the wildlife park thing that's near us. I can go to all of those places and not have to be in a crowd. There's normally like 5 other people in there, and we have an amazing time. We can get to the front of everything, we watch everything, and then half term comes round. And everyone, literally everyone and their mum is there. And I'm like, the whole time, like, stuff happens. There's lots of people with lots of children. You know, you trip on someone's toddler. Someone's older kid comes and takes something off your toddler. Like, it's a world I'm not ready for when school rolls around. And then I have to start paying more money for holidays because your kid's in school, and the minute you want to take them on a holiday, you have to go on school holidays, and it's a million times more money. And then if you don't want to go in school holiday times and you decide to take your kid out, then you get fined. This is definitely off topic. This is ridiculous. Anyway, this last week, the one I can remember. Last weekend we went to this Bewilderwood place, which is amazing, and Ellie loved it. And then I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I swear I went somewhere on Wednesday. Can't remember what I did though. I can't remember anything at the moment. Thursday was a swimming lesson day. I did something on Friday. I took Ellie to a music class on Friday. It was brilliant. Yesterday was Saturday, and I worked until 3:30, and then we went to Africa Alive at night, which was epic. I love a little bit of the zoo, but at night. And Friday I had a baby scan as well, and then today's Sunday. That took a long time to get to that. I forgot what day it was. Today is Sunday. I have a raging toothache. I literally want to smash my face into a wall just so I feel something that is not my toothache. And we went to Open Farm Sunday at a local farm. Did a trailer ride on a tractor and spent the whole time walking around with me doing this because they had a lot of animals that smell bad, and the smell is worse than anything in the entire world at the moment. And then we had an ice cream. Then we came home. Man, my life is so boring. Like, I have lost all my ability to function at the moment. We're not even at 20 minutes, and I literally have nothing else to say, guys. So this is going to be the shortest podcast in the history of forever. But I feel like I've been holding on to this secret. It's only been like, what, 9 weeks that I've known about it. It's been so hard not to tell you. People in my phone. I realised over the last 9 weeks how much my podcast and the people that I have met through my podcast have come to mean to me. You're all amazing. I'm just feeling very loved at the moment. You're all fabulous, and I am very, very happy. And yeah, I'll try and be a bit more present on other social medias and be around a bit more. But at the moment I'm completely brain fried, and it's only just gone 20 minutes and I literally have nothing to say, so I'm gonna go before I start blabbering on about things that nobody wants to know about. Yeah, I'm gonna go. So thank you so much, guys, as always, for making me so much less of a lonely knitter.